Alicia told me my photo looks like Gino. Do you agree? Today, my sermon title is The Start of a New Beginning. A very admirable Korean professor once said that the happiest time in our life is from 60 to 80 years old. Our second life starts at 60 years old. For 20 years, still we have. When I asked him, why is that? He answered, it is because I can still serve others. I was so glad to hear this because it meant that I could help and give happiness to others even at this age. To me, this is what true faith looks like. True faith means that you can always have a fresh start and choose to live intentionally. In recent years, many of us who have been part of the movement for a long time no longer feel the enthusiasm, hope, and the life force that we felt during the early days of our church. Perhaps we have become accustomed to our habits of faith, or we feel that we can no longer give. When I see this situation, it makes me feel worried. This is a movement that we have been a part of for the majority of our lives. If we can no longer find inspiration and hope ourselves, how will we give new inspiration to the world? Will our movement just disappear and be forgotten? No, we cannot let that happen. So how can we reinvigorate our passion for life and for our movement? How can we all start a second new life? These are questions that I have begun to think about. One answer that I have come across is this: the start of any new beginning is asking yourself questions. First, ask yourselves, what are my values and what is important to me? Given that we have a limited amount of time in the physical world, we all need to strive to live in accordance to our values. Although we are a part of the same movement, we all have unique and personal values. Some of us value spending time and with the family and friends, eating healthy and maintaining a certain diet, exercising and making our bodies stronger, giving back to others through our work or acts of service. Being creative and strengthening our intellectual minds or deepening our relationship with God and true parents. After you have identified your values, ask yourselves, what are the goals or steps I need to take that align with my values? What activities or behaviors do I need to engage in order to accomplish my goals? Some of you may ask, what is the difference between values and goals? I have a simple analogy that may help to make this clear. Imagine that you are driving in a car and you are hoping to relax for vacation in San Diego. Your destination or your end point is the larger goal. Values are the direction in which are traveling, such as traveling west. It is the compass that shows you the way. Simply, if you are not traveling west, we cannot get to San Diego or our goal. However, we also need to make pit stops along the way to get to our goal, such as getting gas, eating food at restaurants, and sleeping in motels. These pit stops are our smaller goals that allow us to make it to our large goal. For example, if your value is family connection, this direction allows us to move forward the larger goal, which may be to spend time and show love to my parents or children. The pit stops are the smaller goals to reach this larger goal, such as calling my parents in Korea tonight over the phone, watching a movie with my children on Wednesday night, and making dinner for my wife next weekend. Does this make sense for everyone? Thank you. Why is it important to list and specify our values and goals? Well, think about the past and all the things that made you the most proud, most happy, and most grateful. I'm sure that many were goals that you had met that were aligned with your values. Think about where you want to be in the next year. Rena? Next 5 years? Or next 10 years? Hiro? Where do you see yourself and who do you want to become? In addition to reflecting on our past, we need to reflect on where to go from here and take control of our future. Identifying values and setting realistic goals helps us to carve out the roadmap to a meaningful and fulfilling life. After asking ourselves these questions about our values and goals, what next? Well, next, we need to act by carrying out our smaller goals and starting to set habits. And we know that we develop habits by doing things over and over and over again. It's much easier to reach our destination when our smaller goals are set through habit, sort of like cruise control. So earlier in my sermon, I said that the start of any new beginning is asking yourself questions. What are those three questions? Remember, you want to ask yourselves, what are my values? What are my goals that align with my values? And what are the habits I want to develop? If you are thinking, I don't know where to begin, that is okay. This type of reflection of asking ourselves these questions can come right here where you are sitting. I believe that we are lucky enough to already have the foundation of our movement to guide us. To be part of this Unification Church movement means that our values and goals are guided by the words of Jesus and true parents. Brothers and sisters who are God and true parents. To put it simply, they are the ones that created us anew. It was through the words, love, and the blessing of true parents that we were resurrected. It is through faith that we can start fresh every day and pledge to do better than the day before. So one of the main reasons we come together to worship God once a week is to be able to have the time to reflect and ask ourselves these questions. Therefore, we can start anew right here in the church. We know that God and true parents do not wish for us to follow the word literally, but instead feel the essence of the word and creatively apply it in our lives through action. God and true parents' teachings can become the source of our values. For example, we may identify the value of loving others as God and the true parents do. This is an essence, direction, and a way of life that is instilled throughout the Word of God. It is our moral compass. Next, our destination or large goal may be to show compassion and love and serve others in my community. The pit stops or smaller goals to achieve this may involve praying, for a particular brother or sister today in service. Helping to clean the church or assist the church members after service, and inviting neighbors and friends into our home to spread love and the word of God next weekend. Our habits then are those activities that we do over and over again that help us stay on course. These are things that such as attending sermon every Sunday and reading the Word of God, and through parents every day for 훈독회. Even prayers and acts of service can become automatic habits over time. So, brothers and sisters, all of these examples come to show that starting anew can happen right here, right now, and anytime. It begins with that moment of reflection of asking yourself these questions. You are in full control of your life, and by being proactive and intentional, you will start to see yourself change and transform. You will start to feel invigorated, refreshed, and filled with newfound enthusiasm for your life and your faith. When we start to live this way, in accordance to our values and working towards our goals, we are not only growing spiritually and physically, but we are also modeling a life and creating inspiration for others. Through your values and actions, if you are showing kindness, compassion, and generosity, others around you will be drawn to you and drawn to our movement as well. In this way, our church movement seeks the highest form of happiness through loving and serving our families and neighbors. If we do not know our values and act on our goals, it means that we are not spreading the love of God and true parents. There is no other happiness as great as being able to show love to people after having received such love from God and true parents. I hope that this sermon will inspire everyone here to start your reflection today. Think about what aspects of your life are most important to you and start to write down specific goals that align with these values. A great place to start is your life of faith, and then act on your goals and try to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself to nurture good habits. As you start to head towards your destination, you will surely notice your heart expanding in ways that you had never imagined. This is your life now, and it's not over yet. This is just the beginning. Please join me in a prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent and true parents, we have all gathered here on this Sunday morning to worship you and surround ourselves with your love and grace. For a long time now, many of us have felt our enthusiasm, hope, and happiness fade as the years go by. This may be due to many reasons. We are getting older and there are many stressors around us. We may feel stagnant in our life of faith, and it is hard to give our time and resources. We miss what it felt like to be full of vigor and hope like the early days of our movement. But we know that our time is not over yet. We can always have a fresh start and a new beginning through your grace and our faith. And we can start by asking ourselves, what are my values, goals, and habits that we want to carry into our future? Please guide us as we start this personal reflection process and commit to make changes in our lives that will reinstill excitement, joy, and fulfillment. Through this, we hope to be able to spread your love and share your messages to our brothers and sisters, neighbors, and our communities. I pray in the name of Jong, the owner of 천일국, Amen and Aju.